Well, the push for preschool is on again.
Plus, why one local high school is not requiring its students to take the SAT. Those stories and more in tonight's Making the Grade with Idaho Education News reporter Kevin Richard. Making the Grade on a Thursday today. That's because City Club of Boise held an important forum yesterday on early education. Kevin, you were a part of that. Tell me a little bit about what you see when it comes to pre-K and the legislature this coming year.
Well, it's been an ongoing debate, obviously, for the past few years, and that's kind of why the City Club wanted to take this on. And in full disclosure, I'm on the City Club board, so I had a hand in putting this forum together. What I heard and what I found interesting was kind of a sense of maybe where the legislation might go this year, what the direction of that legislation might be. And it sounds like it's going to be a little bit different than what we've seen in the past, less of a pilot program and maybe more of a program that allows communities to figure out what sort of pre-K they want to try to launch. And there would be some state funding put into that mix. That figure kind of yet to be determined.
Does it seem that Christy Perry is going to be the representative that really spearheads this again?
Well, she's definitely passionate about the issue, and she did not want to handicap what she thinks could happen at the next legislative session, but she was pretty blunt about kind of where she feels this issue is in terms of the body of research. She is really hard-pressed to see what the downside is to doing this. And she really doesn't think money's the issue. I mean, the state ended the last budget year with a pretty healthy surplus. She thinks, it's not going to be that difficult to find money to put into this program if you choose to put money into this program. The cost isn't prohibitive. It's a question of, does this legislature want to take a very significant step in terms of education policy, going and doing something that they haven't done and have resisted for many years.
Exactly. Well, Kevin and I will keep on top of it. It's kind of a hot button issue for us. You ran a story on Idaho Education News that I really enjoyed, which was talking about SAT scores, how many kids took the SAT during their junior year on one specific SAT day. Tell me what happened in Marsing.
Marsing is an interesting story, and it's kind of goes to a larger issue of this whole SAT day. The concept, if you're the parent of a high school junior, you already know this. Every April, the state provides the SAT on a school day, not on a Saturday morning, that the kids can take it on a school day. The state pays the bills. So consequently, just about every high school junior in the state takes the SAT. You had about 17,000 kids.
It's also required for graduation, or at
least
a college exam.
You've got to take a college entrance exam to graduate. It doesn't have to be the SAT, but since it's free, most kids wind up taking the SAT. So anyway, let's get to Marsing now. When we looked at the numbers last week, Marsing had the highest increase in average SAT scores in the state. It went up significantly. It was a 141-point bump. Wow. Yeah, it's big. Talking to the principal and looking at the numbers further, he said, part of it is we didn't give the SAT to every kid. They made a decision at the district level that maybe it makes more sense for kids who aren't necessarily going to a four-year college or considering a four-year college, that they take a different college entrance exam. It still meets the graduation requirement, but it may be a little bit more geared towards a student who might be looking at trade school or CWI or something like that. So fewer kids taking the SAT, and the grades shot up. Kind of makes sense.
That's interesting. So do you think that Superintendent Sherry Barr, State Superintendent, will move this forward? Where does she stand on an SAT day?
Well, here's the bottom line of all of this as she is crafting her budget. It's about a $1.1 million investment for the state to cover SATs, other tests for high school students. So the question is, do you want to continue to spend that money? And if so, how do you want to spend it? Do you want to put it all in the SAT? Do you want to put it into some other tests? Do you want to allow and enable a district like Marsing, a school like Marsing, to say, SAT is good for some kids, it may not be good for everybody.
Make some choices. If you'd like to hear much more about what Superintendent Ibarra is planning to do with her budget, you can go to idahoednews.org. There's a great interview on there I'd advise you to check out. Kevin, thanks for being here for Making the Grade.
Thank you.